Tibbets. I am Linda Brown from 2nd grade, and I'm going to be reading you a story called Dumpy the Dump Truck. This story is special to me for two reasons. First of all, it was given to my son Nick, and he loved it so much, as well as my daughter, that my daughter's like, you've got to read this story, so I'm sharing it with you. The second reason is the author of this story is a woman by the name of Julie Andrews Edwards and Emma Walton Hamilton. And Julie Andrews is one of my favorite actresses, and many people don't realize that she's also an author, and she authored this book with her daughter. So I hope you enjoy Dumpy the Dump Truck.
Way out east, where the country meets the sea, there is a little village called Apple Harbor. Seagulls circling high above the fishing boats can clearly see the stony breakwater and the sandy beach, the brightly painted cottages, the church steeple, the schoolhouse, and a small whitewashed post office. Behind the village, overlooking the bay, sits Maryhill Farm. Now, most days, Farmer Barnes can be seen driving Trundle the tractor up and down the green and golden fields. Put, 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 put. Trundle turns over the fresh earth and plants the potatoes, corn, and wheat. All in a day's work, he says. Nearby, Beebe the backhoe scoops and dumps and scoops and dumps, digging holes and planting trees. Beep, 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 she says as she backs up to scoop once more. 2 hands are better than 1. Cock-a-doodle-doo, crowed the rooster on the old barn roof. He does it every morning. As the sun rose over the hill, something twinkled in the tall grass beside the barn. Among the berries and the thistles, there was a cracked mirror, a flat tire, a twisted fender, and a sooty smokestack. What could it possibly be? It was an old dump truck. The little truck had been there for such a long time that he felt stiff and sore. Birds and mice had used the stuffing from his faded leather seats to build their nests, and he was dusty and very rusty. Bang! Went the back door of the farmhouse. Charlie and his grandfather Papa strode across the farmyard. But why, Charlie was saying, why do we have to get rid of Dumpy? Oh, because everything's changing round here, said Pop-Up. The old barn has to come down to make room for a better one, and that little truck is in the way. Besides, you heard your dad. He wants to buy a new one. But I love Dumpy, said Charlie. I play on him every day, and I pretend that we're driving all over town. They stood for a moment, gazing at Dumpy. It's so sad to get rid of something you love just to make room for something new. Charlie sighed. You're right about that, said Pop-Up. When I ran this farm, Dumpy did everything. And when something broke, you fixed it. You didn't just throw it away. Well, why can't we fix Dumpy? Charlie asked. And then Dumpy can help Daddy with the new barn. Pop-Up pushed back his hat and scratched his head. I don't know, he said thoughtfully. Things are going to be pretty busy round here, and I'm not as quick as I used to be. I can help, said Charlie. We could do it in no time, I know. A slow smile spread across Pop-Up's face. You know, pal, this might just be the thing I'm looking for. Maybe we could even use Dumpy for odd jobs around town. So Pop-Up and Charlie went to work. First, they asked old Nellie the cart horse to help pull Dumpy out of the weeds. Then Charlie and Pop-Up began to clean. They hosed, scrubbed, wiped, polished, and scraped. They got rid of all of Dumpy's rust and mud, and they buffed his old headlights until they gleamed. There was so much work to do that they had to get up extra early before farm chores began. Farmer Barnes often came by on Trundle. Put, 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 put. All in a day's work, Trundle would say. Looks like you've still got a long way to go, Farmer Barnes fretted. I hate to remind you, but we don't have much time before that barn has to come down. Ah, pshaw, said Pop-Up. Just watch our dust. The days flew by. Slowly but surely, Dumpy could feel himself coming back to life. Pop-Up bought Dumpy 4 fat new tires with shiny hubcaps and buttery leather seats that smelled like cinnamon toast. Pop-Up and Charlie spent hours on the dump truck's great bed. The arm that raised it up and down was stuck. Pop-Up had to use so much grease on it that he was slippery from head to toe. Next came the part that Dumpy liked best. Pop-Up and Charlie gave him several coats of paint, bright and cheerful colors: apple red, sunshine yellow, ocean blue. But now Charlie was becoming a little anxious. 2 more days, Pop-Up, and Dad says the barn has to come down. Pop-Up's head was buried under Dumpy's hood. I got to fix the engine. Clang, bang, ping, ding, pow, wheeze, hiss. Dumpy had a stomachache from all the poking. Sorry, Dumpy, said Pop-Up, but you can't run without an engine, and we just gotta keep at it. And so they worked late into the night. The next morning, a sleepy Pop-Up said to Charlie, Okay, pal, let's start him up. Carefully, he turned the shiny new key in Dumpy's ignition. Bang! Phut! Splutter! Coughed Dumpy, and he heaved a big sigh. Silence. Now let's see, said Pop-Up as he went back under the hood. Tweak here and some oil there, and he climbed into the cab and turned the key once again. Rrrr, rrrr, Dumpy complained. Aw, please, Dumpy, please start, Charlie pleaded. Dumpy took a deep breath and tried as hard as he could. Pop! An old nest exploded out of his smokestack. Dumpy gave a satisfied burp. So that's what it was, Pop-Up smiled. Dumpy must be feeling much better now. He turned the key one last time. Dumpy was feeling just grand, and he roared with happiness. Broom, broom! Yes, Charlie yelled. Yes, yelled Pop-Up. What is it? What's happened? Farmer Barnes barreled around the corner on Trundle and slammed on the brakes. Trundle stalled and for once was speechless. There was Dumpy, mint fresh and sparkling, his engine humming happily. Well, what are we waiting for? Pop-Up winked at Farmer Barnes. Let's get to work on that barn. So with Dumpy's help, the old barn came tumbling down. Dumpy hauled timbers and helped stack them for later use. He fetched bricks and wood and delivered huge bags of cement and gravel. Every day he grew stronger and stronger. Word of Dumpy's return spread, and all sorts of people came to see him at work. Stinky the garbage truck drove into the yard and was amazed to see Dumpy lifting and tipping load after load. He said happily. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Beebe the backhoe dug a big hole for the new barn's foundation. Beep, 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 she said as she scooped and dumped the earth into Dumpy, who carted it all away. 2 hands are better than one. Pop-Up tied a strong rope to Dumpy's fender, and with Trundle's help, they raised the sides of the new barn. All in a day's work, Trumbull said proudly. The day came when the last shingle was nailed to the roof. Farmer Barnes stepped back to admire the new barn. Well, I take it all back. He put his arm around Charlie's shoulders and smiled at Pop-Up. You guys make a great team. Tomorrow we'll start the harvest, and after that, who knows? Dumpy could be the busiest truck in town. Ding-a-ling-a-ling! Ike the ice cream truck drove into the farmyard. You're in for a treat, he called. Ice cream for everyone, declared Farmer Barnes. That night, Pop-Up and Charlie put Dumpy to bed inside the cozy new barn. It smelled of hay and herbs, fresh wood, and a hint of Dumpy's gasoline. Time for us to get to bed, too, said Pop-Up. Good job, Dumpy, Charlie whispered, rubbing a fender gently with his sleeve. We couldn't have done it without you." The barn doors swung closed. Dumpy heaved a happy, sleepy sigh. He knew he couldn't have done any of it without Charlie and Pop-Up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this story called Dumpy the Dump Truck. It is a wonderful story that really lets us remember that loyalty to the things we have is so important, and then teamwork should always be used. Thank you. Have a great evening.